Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League. The players are getting ready in the server, so I'm going to throw this on over to the new casting duo on the street. That is Blazed, Blue and Daze. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, Rio. It is myself and Daze bringing you the action for this one. And for anybody that is just joining us, of course, it's going to be SK versus EchoFox, their second set of the evening here. Daze, what are your initial thoughts before we jump into this match, which should be actually just in a moment?
I mean, my initial thoughts are that if we're Blazed and they're telling us that they're the shiny head squad, all right?
There you go.
That's my initial thoughts. But I don't know. Looking into this, I'm curious what type of playstyle SK is going to come out with, because recently, you know, months ago, maybe half a year ago or whatever, SK played a really slow, methodical playstyle. They'd be really dangerous with the clock. Sometimes they'd be planning with like 5 seconds left, clearing sites with 17 to 20 seconds left. But recently, they've adapted their playstyle and added a playstyle that's very fast-paced. They use a lot of utility early to gain positioning, and I think that's what they're going to go with here. I think they're just going to try to just punch them in the gut and just run them over. And
obviously with EchoFox showing some instability there, maybe even wanting to test some things out possibly in this matchup too, is EchoFox managed to start off, I think, like 6 or 7-0 or something before they got their first losses, and ever since then, actually, they've been dropping quite a few of their games. So EchoFox looking a lot weaker right now and a lot more vulnerable too. They're actually about to get bumped out of the top 6, as I think Ryu was saying earlier. Like one more win from anybody else below them, which well could be SK this evening, and well, they might end up taking that position in the number 6 spot.
Yeah, and we have to look at their schedule. I haven't looked at it, but SK here is huge favorites. So this could put EchoFox. They just lost 2. What are they, like 9 and 9 right now? Maybe
8 and 4 or something like that.
No, they were 8 and 4.
8? No, they're still 8 and 4, according to the rankings on the ESA website. Anyway.
All right, that cannot be fact. But this could be like the night that EchoFox looks back at, and is just, this is where we drop the ball.
Yep. And we are going to see in just a moment here, guys. It does look like we are getting live into the map. Overpass is going to be the map of choice, and we are going to see SK starting off on the T side with EchoFox, jumping over to the CT side, opening push from these Ts right now. It does look like they are going to be splitting themselves up. Bomb working its way into the tunnels. Shazam actually goes for an aggressive push here towards Fountain to try and grab some more of that intel, but very quickly is now going to fall back once again, although he eats a flashbang and actually finds himself sitting out in the open here a little bit as he tries to pick up that kill. Thankfully, it still looks like he's going to be able to get away to the site, but Roka picking up the kill there too. Strikes first for EchoFox.
Yeah, he pushes up there, gets a ton of map control, and all of a sudden EchoFox is huge favorites here.
2SK are still going to try to make up for this. Thankfully, with the rest of EchoFox falling back here, they do get control of the bathroom approach up to the A bomb site, but now they've got to worry about 3 players into the bomb site, along with a few that are going to be rotating in a moment. There's Shazam getting the first one. Fortunately, Freakazoid is a little bit too far out in the open here, but Sean, nice job playing around with Semi there. He grabs one. There's no pressure from Long at all from the SK side of things, so they can't really counter out Shazam. He's just got a perfect position, and there's no one that can do anything about it. It's all left to coldzera, and he's essentially got an impossible task in front of him now.
That round, a lot of it just came down to Roka pushing there and being able to have so many people towards A and just knowing they were coming A. So that was a really well-timed push and kill by them. coldzera's just doing as much as he can here. You don't want to give him that kill because you don't want him to have, any utility for this next round, because SK is going to buy this next round. They always do, as long as they don't get the bomb down, and they're so dangerous when they do that. They get so in your face with Tech 9s, and just the more utility they have to play with, the harder it is, for that second round.
They're sneaking around here, but he will finally get shut down by Sean. So they do pick up the pistol here. They'll get their start on the CT side, but into the second round, we'll see the buy coming in for them as
snap by Taco there. 0 hesitation. Fallen, getting nades like he usually does. Going to try to set up his team. And they do a lot of different things, right? Sometimes SK has a lot of deagles, and sometimes they just go Tech 9 armor, get in your face, right? Here we see a little bit of a mix with FNX having the deag, everybody else just Tech 9ing and following with the P2
and SK are going to be proceeding pretty much in the same route that they took back on the last round here too. Obviously making up for the mistakes there on having Shazam kind of wreck them from that position on Long and having the wall to support. So Fallen will move out to investigate that early on here too. Still keeping Taco back downstairs to push over towards B, and obviously coldzera in the connector there to play around a bit here too. Now they've gotten control of the earlier pushed areas leading up to like bathroom and whatnot. Probably going to be expecting some hesitation here as we wait for them to actually figure out which site they just want to take this on to.
Yeah, and EchoFox is giving them a lot of respect here, right? This is a lot different than what you'll see SK do on a lot of these rounds, right? SK will they'll just send Fur at you with an MP9, and more often than not, he just kills 3 people, right? So they don't let you get set up like this. But them letting SK get set up like this could be a big mistake, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
And we can see now that SK are going to shape up most of their players down here towards the B bomb site. Great timing on the Molotov there too. It's caught by Roka at the last second, so it holds off the initial push, and we can start to see too some shifting players over towards A here. And players like Freakazoid want to start to move down, but Roka going to push in. He grabs 3 kills before being traded out by coldzera. Nicely timed and very well played by him. It's all going to come down to coldzera here in a moment, who has gotten control of the area and
like
tracks.
I said,
but
huge mistake. No, I'm just kidding. They got slaughtered there. Roka did a really good job. So now we got this 3rd round. Probably just going to try to get the bomb down here somewhere. But, yeah. What are you going to do after this, Brew? I'm curious. I saw you napping over there earlier today. Moses told me you have a strict 10:30 bedtime.
Definitely not true at all. It's more like 4 a.m.
4 a.m. You living life on the wild side.
Up till 4 a.m. playing mainly WoW recently, actually. Not a lot of Counter-Strike, but
just a wild night.
Just a crazy dude, man. Got crazy nightlight. So SK on their trash round here are just going to proceed up towards the bathrooms, and again looking to probably execute in the same fashion they did over towards the A-bomb site. Shazam waiting for it. We've got Sean Garris up on the site too. Shazam actually the first to spot a lot of this, but as he wraps the around the corner, nicely done actually, grabs FNX. They run right into him there, and the second pickup from him. The only one that got past it was this player here towards Semi, but not sure if they've caught it as of yet here. As they walk in, well, I correct myself. Fur was actually get knocked out pretty quickly, and then Shazam
definitely knew he was there.
Yeah.
I was watching Shazam and he was looking right at that. So, first buy round here. SK, no off, so, and almost no kills on the board, right? Only Cold has kills. Everybody else is on 0.
So, with SK now buying up here, we're going to need to start seeing some of that impact, because obviously on 1st and 3rd rounds, we saw it be an absolute shutdown. Some damage being done in the midst of it here, but for the most part, SK just not finding any impact at all, and that's allowed for, well, this round's actually going to make it quite interesting, of course, because EchoFox will make the usual decision to not really upgrade a lot of these guns from the anti-ecos. This also means they got to play aggressively, and there we go, moving in. Neither of the 2 players that push into connector find anything at all. Fallen and Taco just destroy them both, and now Shazam with a scout is going to try to hold in the bathrooms here, switching out to the Deagle, but then going back to that scout. Taco, though, instantly grabs the 1-tap onto him as he tries to retreat back to the bomb site. And this round is almost entirely over, too. The only one that left that could really impact is going to be Roka back over here. coldzera's watching for the flank from Rick, so more than likely he's going to spot that and take it down without too much trouble. There you have it. And Roka, well, he may just stop to save since he's the only player with a rifle.
Yeah, big risk by EchoFox there. You might not look at that round and think it's a risk, but the economic implications are actually really high, right? So they lose that round, they don't get any kills, really, right? Maybe Roka gets 1 or 2 here or whatever. And that allows SK to get their money going, allows them to get multiple buy rounds instead of just getting, you know, maybe 1 round in and then being, you know, losing the next and you know, going on a hard reset. So it's actually a risk doing that. EchoFox is probably thinking like, yeah, we're just gonna, you know, push under or connector here, and it's not that risky. If we lose the round, whatever, we're still gonna buy. But it's risky because you're giving SK so much money. That's why it's risky.
Now they already get themselves established quite well here, rebuying their utility, but beyond that, most of these guys are sitting somewhere between 3 and 4K, which for the most part of these guys is going to be enough for another full rebuy. Now they've got that option enabled. Should we see EchoFox return the favor here and reset them, even with that loss bonus, more than likely they're going to buy it once again. So it's going to be gun rounds here for more than likely at least 3 straight, unless we see SK picking up the second one here and shutting out EchoFox. Initially though, SK proceed directly over to the B bomb site. This is actually a bit different. They haven't gone for something this direct over here. Quite just, I mean, well, we haven't seen it in the entire match just as of yet. Now you're seeing Roka along with Rick starting to shift back down, and they actually completely move out of the site. If they push Monster right now, there's going to be no one to defend it, and with that, they basically give up the site for free. Now Roka going to try to move in, looks for the flank kill against Cold, doesn't find it. Thankfully, coldzera re-peeks it there, so Rix is going to be able to punish and finish him off, but still, they're on retake duty here right from the get-go of this one, and SK are going to be on the defense. They move back in. That's actually a great shot from Shazam. I think it finds the damage on a fall and brings him down to 29 HP, but still, the rest of EchoFox are having trouble forcing their way into this bomb site, finding those kills that are needed. Fallen being brought down even lower, and another nade tossed its way in. Thankfully, that one's not going to be on point, but what a shot from Roka through the smoke that's tossed up by the HE grenade there. Taco going to hold the rotation from the remaining CTs, but beyond that, it's almost flawless from EchoFox's end. Just up to Taco now to try to hold this. I think he's actually already given up on it. Just going to pick up the up and run away, and he'll give the 4th round to EchoFox.
That was a really well-played retake by EchoFox. I think if you asked Fallen, like, after this, you know, what they should have done that round differently, Taco got really good positioning. They were just peeking probably a little bit too much. Look where Taco is, right? He has that completely cut off, but they're just so worried about the monster in heaven. It's so hard to get good positioning from that. So they probably needed to push up even further and probably get more people in the pit. And even then, it still would have been tough. So EchoFox had a really good retake there, you know, taking control of monster and that short sewers area.
So SK again here, actually slowing down the roll a little bit as they do shift once again into the tunnels. Won't be moving through it just as of yet. Sean is going to be resisting them further downstairs here. coldzera trying to jump and peek to see if there'll be a push from long. We won't be having any of that. EchoFox have actually, for the most part, kind of been avoiding long unless it's come to an A hit where they've tried to use the approach to it. But FNX sneaking up here, hasn't managed to spot, I believe it's Roka on the other end of that one. It's Sean going to take the target first, takes him down. Roka goes for the peek, and he doesn't find one either. FNX gets a double kill. Freakazoid elsewhere on the map does pick up a frag on a Taco, but that still leaves it in a 4-on-3, and Shazam blind out in the open here, just outside of the bathrooms, will get taken down by Fallen.
Such good teamwork on that flash there. So far in the connector area, that stairwell, EchoFox has just been drawing blank.
You see Freakazoid still playing around by Semi, and although he grabs one kill against Cold, he walks right back out. Fallen, full control of the situation, takes him down. Rix, though, with one more, has left this in a 1v2, and there's not a whole lot of utility left here for the SK side, but they get the plan on this side of the box, and this is so hard for Rix to retake this now. He's also given them plenty of time since he was a little bit slow on rotating up, so he basically has no choice but to try and play as aggressively up to those bathrooms and take both of these players out. He's got a kid at least, so a little bit more time to play with here. Yeah, obviously have a little bit more utility to work with here too. Trying to do something, just bait them out of their position, but it's not really working. He's got to go for the push. He's going to leap in now. Waiting around the corner here. Should be Fallen. Trying to move in. Again, though, they're not really being given any reason at all to peek because of the position of the bomb. It's so perfect. He does find that first kill, but he's pretty much out of time to defuse, and while he gets the second one, the round ultimately will still go into SK's hands.
Yeah, those are big kills, though. That's really one of the hardest retakes in the game, though. Because, especially when FNX has a molly there. What ends up happening is you try to defuse, a lot of the time they don't peek, and then you try to push them, but while you push them, there's so many angles that you could just fake them out. You can go on the other side, you could back up, and it just becomes this really dangerous game of cat and mouse that usually the T's win.
So with that one, SK, of course, does pick up a second round for themselves. It hasn't reset the CT side just yet. We still have at least one more buy coming in for these guys, but for the most part, they've been emptied out now, and the SK roster having enough cash once again to buy up still on their own end here, finding consistent plants at least and stacking up the losing bonus. It still keeps them in good arms to do so. A little bit low on utility for a few players, but we've seen them definitely impact already without needing the use of the utility to begin with. And it's Taco, again, lurking his way over here to the B-bomb site, looking for entries to start it off. And actually the rest of them have barely even moved out for map control at all. They're just hanging in on Playground right now. Yeah, and
we'll see how much utility EchoFox actually saves, right? So I was dead wrong when I thought that SK would come out and just be doing like more fast trash. They tried it once at B, it got shut down, so now they're going to this more slow, methodical playstyle. And EchoFox really only has one smoke, right? So if SK does some type of full exec in like a 5v5, and I think Roka's going to use that smoke right now, they're gonna have a pretty big advantage.
You can see too the start of the push over here towards long for SK, keeping the bomb with them as well, while FNX and Taco are still pretty securely placed down here over here towards the B-bomb site. FNX will be rotating back up through the connector to join these guys in a few moments, but once more, as you mentioned from SK, it's very slow pace now, very methodical, goes back to the type of style we're used to seeing them play tour. Fallen looking for that opening kill. I think he actually saw the elbow of one of the players that peeked out from the APC here. Now he's going to try to line up the smoke to get into the bomb site. In the meantime, though, this noise has been made, right? But the play's not even coming to this bomb site anymore. They've given it up completely and wrapped the bomb all the way back over here, just outside of Monster now, which leaves all the defense on Roka's hands. Now, he's been doing good with this up to this point, but that flash completely destroys any chance of picking up any kills. Rix even gets a little bit scared there, too, and he spots the shadow. Starts firing a bit early. They take him down. Shazam gets the response. Now, the time is going to be low. They'll still find the plant, but it's going to be with 7 seconds on the clock. And now, a 3-on-4 retake. Shazam missing that fadeaway shot. We saw one player go into the pit. He actually jumps up on a very quick boost there and almost actually hits him through the wall here, too. Fur very low. They've got to be careful of Shazam, but EchoFox to start finding the impact necessary right now. There we go. There's the start of it, but Fur coming in, trying to hold them back before, just with the pure firepower of these AKs. Him and coldzera pick up 2 fast kills, and now Freakazoid are the only one left. There's one pickup for him, trying to finish off Fur. He runs out of ammo in his rifle, though, and now he's got to run away. Only a few shots left in that pistol, but finally Fur rolls up and takes him down with the Glock.
And SK's flashbangs are just so on point, man. Like, Roka was blind there, and that's just so crucial to get that guy blind over at that pit area, because if you don't blind him there, he has a huge advantage. So it was a glider, dude. It was a glider over there on the surf ball. But That flashbang just opened everything up.
Trying to keep the hitbox moving a bit. Maybe gets lucky there with that, but didn't pay off.
But one of the things that really helped them early in that round is that Taco had so much information over at B. He actually got so close, like in the sewers, he was peeking the ramp, and just by him being there, he was able to almost 100% know exactly how they were playing. He knew one was to his left towards graffiti, and he knew one was probably in the pit. Because if nobody peeks you on the ramp, nobody's peeking you on the barrel side, most likely that's the setup. And when you know exactly where they are, it's pretty easy to throw those perfect flashbangs, right?
We do see Taco finding that first kill again. The guys on EchoFox here try to play it aggressive. Now that, for the most part, they have nothing to lose here on this eco round.
Yeah, who do you think, who do you think my favorite teammate is from SK in Rank S?
Cold's Air.
Actually, no.
No?
I'm going to surprise you with this one. I like Cold a lot. It's Taco.
Is it?
See, I like playing with Fallen a lot, but we do a lot of the same things, right? Because we both like to off. Cold's like insane, right? But Taco, for me, is just so easy to play with, and he plays all the sites that nobody wants to play, and plays them so well that like the player next to him just never even has to worry about it. So it's great playing with him, and he's so easy to play with. He doesn't even speak that great English, but he plays so properly that it's so easy to play just like next to him in the same spot or anything.
So at the moment here too, just cleaning up most of these guys over here down towards the B-bomb site, and hasn't just been on these eco rounds too, even on the full gun rounds, he's been, for the most part, doing a pretty great job of handling a lot of the players from EchoFox that have tried to play it out aggressively, only dropping himself down from that position maybe 1 or 2 times so far. So again, cleaning things up, gets the 3rd kill, Fallen, denies Shazam over towards Heaven, and well, for Sean, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot he can do. He's going to head down through the connector, maybe trying to line up an exit or 2 if he can find some players out towards water, but this round is definitely over, and again, it's just going to be a 4th one for SK as we tie ourselves up at 4 to wall.
Yeah, 4 to wall, and SK is looking in pretty good shape here. I'm not sure about the money on EchoFox. They should be able to get, I mean, if they op, it's going to be like almost like a blast cannon op by Shazam. So they're going to have a good buy, but this round's going to be pretty big to see who takes this half and who takes the lead in it.
We'll wait for a moment here. The money's still a little bit low for Roka, but thankfully for like 90% of these guys, I think it's still good enough for them to buy up Roka in order to get his utility package, though, which is going to downgrade to a FAMAS. We'll have that quite well. But they do avoid the op entirely for the time being. Shazam is just going to go with the rifle in this round. The split, for the most part, remains the same here, too. 2 players pushing out towards the bathrooms, and basically no pressure at all on Long, keeping Freak sort of as a rotator between the A and B bomb sites, and then obviously having Rix and Roka down over here on B. But Roka is actually going to get mollied out from pretty long distance too, and we can see he lost about 1/3 of his HP from that position now. So as he moves out, Taco, there you go, there he goes again with the lurk, goes all the way up to construction. Nobody's even watching for that, and as soon as Roka walks out for the smoke, he's going to get destroyed. FNX also finding Sean here too. The round starts out so badly. Finally, there's something good for the EchoFox roster here, but again, nobody was watching Long, so Fur walks right up and destroys Shazam.
Yeah, that was a complete fake. They didn't even plan on taking the B site. They wanted to go to A and just send 2 people out B. And the thing about that is, when you are on Overpass, right, a lot of the time you send 3 towards B, and if early action happens at B, you're going to keep 3B, right? So when Fur and FNX there at A are just rushing through, probably something's going to be open, right? Unless they're pushed up long, a lot of time they don't watch it. Fur literally just bulldozed through long A as fast as he possibly could. And, you know, the fake by Taco, he gets a kill and somehow stays alive. Fur just runs through long. Nobody's watching it because they still have 3B and they weren't ready to watch that. So, I don't know, it just worked perfectly.
Yeah. Freakazoid at the very least is going to cut off Taco here towards the end of the round. They're doing some damage here. Rook tries to move up. We do see Fallen picking up 1 more kill, but the last one there, which I believe was Rix, manages to survive the encounter. There again, we see Taco then moving up. This happened about 3 times throughout the course of the round where players were taken down, not really having a good idea as to where exactly they were being knocked out of that one from. So SK finding quite a few flank kills. EchoFox, unfortunately, still with not even enough cash to buy up here. For some of these guys, they're just going to half buy, but most of them can't even do that. Roka, Shazam, and Sean just pick up pistols, and Shazam doesn't even do that. He's just going to roll with the default pistol.
Yeah, and if you give SK as much space as EchoFox is giving them, it's understandable, right? Because both times they played in the connector, they just got wiped out. Both times, SK killed 2 of them and stayed alive. They didn't get 1 kill. So they're afraid to give them space on these gun rounds, and I would be too. But at the same time, unless you use your utility so properly when you do give them that space, it's going to be so hard to win. We saw the one round that you know, when they used their utility, they used all their smokes really early. They just threw a couple pop flashes, they went out and killed them. That's what's going to happen if they just waste their shit like that.
Rix now is the last one standing in a 1v5 here. Basically trying to do as much damage as possible. He's got the Metal Gear smoke lined up. Trying to see if nobody's going to notice him on the other end of that one. But the problem is, he didn't even see Fallen creeping through Monster. So backfires. Fallen just takes him down, and no losses at all for SK. Cold as well, even though it's an eco round, doing some work there with the op, trying to prevent the aggressive push towards Fountain from having any impact, and does that quite well.
Yeah, and we're going to see another full buy round. See if they go for a double up. They don't. I'm curious if Shazam's going to try to make something happen to get a little bit aggressive here. SK has complete full nades, 5 mollies, 5 smokes, like 9 flashbangs, so.
You're going to see again the shift early on here. They hold back. They've kind of gotten used to more of that aggressive pressure moving out from EchoFox here now, so they're just going to wait a few moments here and be a bit cautious of it. Shazam, though, is the only one even pressed out from the site itself, just hiding out in bathrooms currently. And again, we've allowed Fur and Taco to take control just outside of Monster, and Fur are just sneaking up to construction here too.
Yeah, and you know, like philosophy-wise, I've always kind of thought this. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I always thought when you're a better team, right, the longer the round plays out, and like for instance, if EchoFox is on T side and they take a long time, if you're SK and you take a while, obviously Shazam just killed Fallen there. But it gives the better players more time to make moves and generally win, in my opinion, right? Because you just have more opportunities. You know, the CTs have less opportunities here to use their shit properly, you know, their utility properly. SK has more opportunities to just get cheeky kills, you know, where they do good picks and you know, see the setup of EchoFox and things like that.
So here for SK now. They're going to be still taking their time with this one. Obviously, we saw the one trade being picked up there by Taco closer to the B-bomb site, knocking out Rix there. Because I believe he tried to push up towards Monster, or got punished again. But now Cold, time getting a little bit lower. He's going to have to move in. The smoke actually bails them out to a big degree. Shazam was caught in the open there, but there goes Taco again. An absolute monster with these entries moving in through Monster itself, ironically enough. He's going to move up there, picks up a second frag for this round. Now, they haven't checked for Sean, so he's going to move up. He finds the bomb carrier, but Taco, quick on the wrap. Freak, though, moves out from CT main. Takes down Taco again, but he's not paying attention. Further back down by the tracks. That's where Fur's going to find Freak. This all goes into the hands of Shazam. Thankfully, the time is low enough here. Shazam will be allowed to make moves to get himself a little bit further out onto this bomb site. Now, the real task begins of pulling off the 1v2 here. Trying to bait out the shot, but actually, it only baits out the kill here. And as he moves forward, thankfully, Cold's there. He's going to shut it down, pick up the final 1v1, and find yet another round for SK as they go up 7-4.
Yeah, and SK just looking great right now, man. Funny thing is, I was talking with Fallen back when they were kind of just losing a little bit. They had Showtime playing, Fur wasn't there. And he was just saying how he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, Daze, I can't hit a shot. He was like, I don't know what's going on, man. I can't kill anybody. We're just losing to everybody. He's like, he told me something funny. He said, Taco, you're not even, Taco was in the channel talking to me too. He's like, Taco, you're not even an entry frag anymore. You're just an entry death. And it was really funny. And then now that Fur comes back, I just like have been messing with him, right? I'm just like, oh, Fallen. Fur just carries you, man. Like, this guy should get 3 times as much salary. Like, but yeah, they probably super appreciate Fur right now. But EchoFox has a good chance to win this round. Shazam gets a nice 1 dig. And SK has Fur all the way pushed up. Speak of the devil.
Fur is going to cost.
I swear, man, this guy, Fur, can just find any opening. He could be like, you know those cave divers who just go through like those little tiny like crevices, man? Yeah. Like that would be him if he wasn't a Counter-Strike player.
That's some scary stuff, dude.
Dude, that is
You ever seen the videos of that?
Dude, and then like their equipment goes out and it's pitch dark.
Oh, dude. That's like
God.
one of my worst
fears. Yeah, that's my nightmare for sure.
That's some dark stuff there. I mean, they made like movies about this too. It's like, not gonna watch that.
Are you allowed to watch scary movies, bro?
I am, but I don't like to.
Yeah.
Scary movies are scary, bro. I hate scary movies. Shazam's gonna move in, though. He finds one more pickup with the Deagle, tries to go for a third, but will be shut up by F and X.
What do you think's the scariest movie that you've seen?
I haven't seen a lot. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So like the scariest movie, I forget the name of it though. It is that movie about like cave diving.
Really?
I forget what it.
I love horror movies.
I forgot what that movie was called though. That's probably the scariest movie I've ever seen. Though, just because it's like it's not even like the supernatural factor of that movie. It's just the fact of like, oh, we're stuck in an underground cave.
Those are the
There's no way we're getting out of here.
Too, man. Actually, the scariest movie to me is a romance.
Why is that?
No, not because like I'm afraid of that. I'm saying there's this movie called Perfect Senses.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying. I don't want to like say it all, but basically you start losing your senses. Like first they lose their hearing,
no. That's...
then they lose, and it happens to the whole world.
This is
I'm probably
that concept
right
is
now.
actually really messy now. I don't even want to think about that
that's
now.
That's terrifying,
dude.
right?
Ugh. Okay.
All right, back into Counter-Strike.
Back into Counter-Strike. We're in the middle of a gun round.
I mean, we're
here.
watching SK here, and we're talking about movies. Like, this is disrespectful.
But now again, they're going to be looking to execute here. Pretty direct execute here too, which is actually not been something we've seen a lot of from SK so far in this half, but they go for regardless moving in. Roka holds the first kill, but he remains out in the open for too long. Thankfully, Sean is here. He's able to catch the trade. Rick's down in the pit, waiting for more pressure to come up on the site, but the second trade kill has caused a lot of hesitance all of a sudden here from SK. They can't really seem to find a good way in. Fallen is probably going to be the main proponent here, trying to hunt for that entry. As you can see, he's holding that angle, hoping for someone to peek back out over there towards Pit, but as we say that, unfortunately, Fur tries to wrap his way towards Monster and finds Shazam taking him down very fast too. Fallen just can't see anything at all here, and that curse with him, unfortunately, is going to continue forward as he's literally, I don't think he actually even sees anyone until it's the player that ends up killing him, and Rix just finds that final kill.
Yeah, and after a 7-0 run, they finally get back on the board, right? So right there, they held their molly at short and long and whatnot, and they did a much better job of, you know, saving their utility. And then when the execute happens, they're able to molly short, worry about long. Sean played it really well from Graffiti there. So that was like the big difference in that round.
On the opener here too. SK obviously with the direct execute not working out so well. They'll go back to what has been working obviously. It was the slower setup towards the playground initially and then pushing out towards long. They're still going to keep Taco around to play over here with just the general B area, obviously lurking, trying to hunt for kills, punishing any over aggression. And if you can pick up one of those two guys, it'll make the task a lot easier when it comes to them getting the bomb ground and just maintaining the post plant. For the rest of them here, Smoke's tossed out in the bathrooms and whatnot. Hold up the play a little bit, but Fallen's gotten a pretty dangerous position on long. Shazam is going to move in, and oh, nicely done.
Bad timing.
Grabs Fallen out of the air. And with that, again, EchoFox will get the edge in the 5-on-4.
I think it's a complete retake on B right now. I believe Roka's the only one watching it from heaven. Very unusual to see in any type of a 4v5 as well. And Taco's prodding in. I'm wondering if he's gonna opt to try to go into that B side at all.
Moment still just sitting back, and at this point too, he's slowly pushing his way back over there towards connector, possibly to regroup, and that's going to be needed in a moment too, as we have Sean and Shazam pushing up to the connector. It's a good setup for it though. Cold grabs the first kill. Shazam hunting for a second one. Nice flick from him, but now he's surrounded. Doesn't even see the player coming back in from long, so Fur is finally going to knock him out. Goes back down to a 3v3, but nice spray from Fur. Finds some great damage on a Freakazoid, knocking out about half his HP through the smoke. He doesn't even know it. That flashbang's going to completely blind him though. Nicely played by Freakazoid on the timing of that one. Takes down Fur, restores the balance here, puts EchoFox back in favor, but then immediately flushes it down the toilet. As Taco's going to find that additional pickup onto Freak. Rix grabs the second kill. It all falls to FNX now in the 1v2. Fast first kill from him, and I believe he knows the second player's out here, but he's only got 7 seconds left to get this bomb on the floor. Goes for the peek, waits for the peek, and it plays out perfectly for him. Baits Roka out to the open and shuts it down to give SK their 9th.
Yeah, that was a great play by FNX in that 2v1. That was so smart of SK though. I'm really curious to know why they just like stopped and thought that the re-aggression was gonna come, because that was such a good call. I mean, EchoFox felt pressure to make a move there because, as I said, they were playing a retake on B, so they were like, hey, let's just push A with like 3 people or whatever, get that info, and then that would be a quick flank because we think they're going back B. And SK just stops in their tracks and completely punishes that.
We see Cold Zera too, punishing some more aggression early on too. Same thing with Shazam. Both Sean and Shazam try to push their way up. Cold, actually a pretty nice first shot for him too. I think he grabs one of them just like outside of the smoke. And that's pretty much made this round more than likely an already full control for SK. The final 3 from EchoFox are just corralling up on the A-bomb site here, hoping for pressure to come in there. I think Freak is hiding out downstairs a little bit here towards Heaven. Actually just sending us outside CT main right now. A little bit hard to tell from the minimap, but going to be playing it out from there, and obviously we'll start to see the A-sided CTs here push out a bit too, just to confirm that they are still here. If they can pick up 1 free kill here and then retreat, it'll be great, but ultimately SK are now just sitting back, doing the same thing they did on that last round and waiting for this exact aggression to push its way towards them.
Yeah, and I think the story of this half, though, from what I have seen, is that any type of aggression by EchoFox was completely just shattered. right? Anytime they push connector, the only time they had any success being a guy aggro was on that pistol round when Roka took out Taka. I don't think any other round they got anything out of it.
And the situation we just saw there too is a story that happened pretty much throughout the entire half. Even when they did get like 1 or 2 kills by playing aggressively, it almost always got traded out with like a second or two later. So they were almost always in full control of the scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, SK is great at that, man. And that's the thing, when you're a player like Roka, as we see, Freakazoid going for this 3v1, luckily enough.
4v1 actually, he's got that first kill too.
Nice. So makes it manageable 2v1, but I think that B site's open. Want to make it blown down, and it's gonna be tough for him to pull this out, especially versus cold.
Yeah.
Especially versus cold.
He just shifted back up to the A site too, so he's still working basically from ground zero to gain a position. Peeking out towards heaven first, but SK, they just fall back outside towards the construction area too. Freak's gonna jump back down. He doesn't even have a kit either. I'm not sure if there's anyone on the ground for him. He's gonna leap onto the bomb, taps it a little bit there. They're both here, they find him, and it's a shutdown from Fallen to close out the round and the half. So with that, guys, SK are gonna take a strong lead here, 10-5. The second half, guys, is gonna be coming up in just a few minutes. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Stick around right here for more of the ESL Pro League.
He's gonna get the one kill in that bomb coming down to the side. FNX has to stay up. Oh, he gets the triple FNX! Oh my god, what a way to win that round! They don't have a smoke, so this orb is still. Oh,
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
SK have had a little bit of a rough start here in their first match within the first couple of rounds, but managed to round it back quite satisfyingly, actually, as we got towards the end of that first half there. They currently lead 10-5 here versus EchoFox at the ESL Pro League in their first map on Overpass. Daze is with me. Daze, thoughts on that first half and obviously things that we might need to see change from EchoFox going on to their T side?
Well, going on to the T side, I'm not sure what they need to change since they didn't play T side, but
bit of an oversight on my part, just wordplay.
Yeah. So the thing about when you're EchoFox there, if you can't get any early aggression going, you can't make it 4v5 really, right? I think they did make it 4v5 once or twice, but Taco evened it up like almost instantly. You can't play with any aggression. It means you're sitting back for like 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes is a long time. You're constantly throwing your smokes and your mollies like instantly just to get that, stop SK's initial pressure. And then, like, what do? It's so difficult, right? You can't be aggressive. You can't sit back. I mean, after it was, I think, 5-1 or something like that, SK won, 7-8 rounds in a row?
I think it was 7 rounds in a row, and then we saw 1 traded out there, maybe 1 or 2, and then they go right back to winning after that. So
yeah. I mean, SK just really difficult to play against. And also, it's really tough to play against them because when you're someone like Roka, who you could usually just out-aim a lot of the time, and a lot of his playstyle is based off that, right? SK always trades the kill, if not just gets that initial entry, has great flashes because they know like he's playing in a spot where he's probably peeking a lot of the time. It's really difficult for a player like Roka to play against.
You see, of course, the pistol round getting started now with EchoFox jumping onto their T side, and they're going to push pretty quickly. Fallen actually taking quite a bit of damage from the opening volley, so that bringing him down to just 18 HP. But actually, most of SK are still just sticking around the area over here towards the connector. Whether they're inside of it or just around the corner on the outside area, they're definitely playing towards that right now. The only exception being Taco playing down in the B-bomb site. Cold hunting for that first kill, gets some good damage on Sean, knocks him down. We're going to see more moving up for the trade here. Fallen gets knocked out finally, but Cold still holding in the connector there. Picks up a second against Shazam. In the midst of this, though, this will open up the A-bomb site. Despite the fast rotation from Taco, he's going to move up, but very quickly bails out of there. wants to run away, obviously. They got the man advantage. There's no need to risk it by just going for a lucky kill or two there through a headshot. Let's wait for your teammates to come into position. The problem is, though, is that Taco moving up there drew a lot of their attention towards the back of this site. So all of a sudden, we've got FNX and Taco right up at the front gates here. It's a 1-for-1 trade. They do lose Freakazoid, and Taco moving out. He didn't even see Roka to his right, but not needed. Rick shuts it down anyway. Into a 2v2. Cold just sticking this right now. He gets off it, though. Finds the kill. Roka with the trade. It comes down to Roka versus Coldzera, but now he's sticking onto the bomb. 3 seconds left. He gets off it when he can hear him moving up, but Roka finds the headshot anyway, shuts things down, and EchoFox will pick up the second pistol.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting round because EchoFox kind of just ditched Cold. They were like, I don't want to fight this guy right here, and just rushed towards A. Was able to get the bomb down and get in CT spawn. They must have known it was a retake setup or something like that. Because that was a bit unusual. Because if you're watching Cold, he actually was just going to fight until he died because he had Fur and FNX right behind him. His plan was, I'm just going to fight, I'm going to do as much damage as I can, and then when I die, they're not going to look here, and my 2 teammates are going to come up and just annihilate him, right? So that was pretty odd, but a really good read by EchoFox.
EchoFox here now too, hunting for their opening kills, but we do see the scout coming into the picture along with a couple other guns. Taco picking up the Deagle there, as well as Coldzera. They're going to be pushing Monster initially, and although some good damage is traded out onto Fallen and Taco, Shazam also takes that heavy hit too down early on. But obviously not much beyond that happening. EchoFox still just sitting back here. 4 players outside of the Monster approach, and SK actually, after not really meeting anything on that B-bomb side, a lot of them shift away towards Connector, where you now, if they decide to push into this site, we're only going to have Taco defending it. But again, read well, as EchoFox, since they were spotted now, decide to fall back, and it looks like they're going to be going for an A push in a few moments here.
Yeah, definitely setting up for an A push here. One thing that's funny is, so I don't know if you remember when E-League started, they accidentally kept all the names on the guns on TV. Right? So we could see the players' guns because we're in the Go TV ourselves. I know you guys can't. And I was just like, oh my god, could you imagine if somebody had something really like the FCC finds E-League right away? Luckily, nobody did, but I don't know, I thought it was pretty funny.
There's been some interesting names, especially if you go down to like Premiere and whatnot. There's some creative knife and gun names and whatnot.
Yeah, I think the most like somewhat offensive one was Taco's gun. I think they played the first one on the league and it said like Taco is God or something like that.
So after everything goes down to it here, it is brought into a 3-on-2. A bit of a messy trade, and it actually goes down to 3 seconds in itself. Fallen, nicely done, just picks Roka off seemingly out of nowhere. It's from heaven though. 2 more to go, and they're actually both lit up pretty nicely here too, but the problem is he's down at 19 HP, basically one-shottable by either one of these players, so he's got to hunt very, very cautiously. Moving up there too, even tossing out the pistol a little bit as he trades out to a better one. Picking up the CZ to be able to fall away with here, but I don't think he's actually going to be attempting it now. They still need to get through 1 more save round here, so he's going to be focusing on keeping that scout alive along with the CZ, so they have a little bit more firepower to continue to find these trades.
Yeah, and EchoFox was able to pick up not only the first half pistol, I believe they won as well, right?
Yep.
So they won both pistols. Probably going to be able to take it to 10-8 before SK gets on a buy round, but we'll see, man. I mean, SK has a really good CT side on Overpass. It's really tough to read them and to see like what they're doing before they do it. So Fur sometimes is just an animal on it. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with SK if they just... We'll see the differences, right, in defense. If SK is able to get aggressive, how they use their utility when they're passive.
So early on here now, EchoFox is going to be actually wasting no time too with pushing up. The problem is there's going to be resistance working its way over here from the CT side. They boost up. They try to do, I think, that triple boost over there just by the CT cubby, but it's found out. Roka actually punishes it, takes Taco down, and unfortunately now they're just going to have to go for a fairly normal split out in the B-bomb site, which EchoFox is handling that pretty nicely too. Rix clearing things out. 2 kills for him. Trying to go for the 3rd kill. Runs out of ammo on the P90, and now Roka is tapping away, waiting for that peek. He actually does kind of have to bail Rix out here as he chases down that final kill, but everything still goes their way. No losses at all for EchoFox on that round.
Yeah, Ronnie loves that P90, man. He just runs with it. Usually keeps it this round, I would assume. And EchoFox getting ready for that first gun round. We see Sean, 6-12, 12-12 on Roka, 14-13 Freak. Ronnie, 17-9, so putting up some good numbers there.
Just holding W down with the P90 in the last round there. Didn't stop once they started the entry back over there towards construction. We're looking at something similar on this round too, but the response already rolling up from the CTs. However, it's a fast push. Taco throwing that smoke in. It takes actually a long time, so he takes about 40% of his HP, but here comes FNX in the flank. He's only going to grab 1 kill. Rix and Roka picked up 2. Taco moving around within the smokes here too. They know he's there, but they can't actually find him. Finally, he goes out into the open where Shazam is going to capitalize on that, taking him down. Only Fallen and coldzera left in the picture, and coldzera, although he's blind, he tries to push through to get closer to construction. It's found out though, they knock him down, and Fallen obviously was nowhere near this fight, so he's going to fall away and save the op.
Yeah, so right there, EchoFox going with a really quick take. SK was actually set up really well positionally. They had 2 players in the door quick flanking, but since EchoFox had these smokes that blocked off everything from pit and barrels, it actually kind of worked against them because they looked towards short, and were able to kill that guy, and then everybody in the pit was blocked off. So it almost had no effect.
Fallen, they're going to be chasing him towards the end of this round. Shazam didn't actually look like he was expecting to find him over there towards the corner, but regardless, Fallen will find that one more pickup. Not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. EchoFox just 5 rounds in are actually looking fairly wealthy right now. Shazam specifically at 8.9k. And Rix too, just tossing out the guns a little bit here. He's going to get a Mac 10, interestingly enough, but good reason behind that, obviously, with SK beyond Fallen just going on to another eco round here. And for the most part, it's actually going to be a deco round. 3 of them pick up deagles. coldzera, the only one going with a different gun on the CZ.
Yeah, nobody backing up Fallen here. They just stack B, send Fallen towards the middle. But the B guys don't even get 1 kill, and EchoFox is actually looking really good, man. It's going to be 10-10. SK is going to buy again, but EchoFox has a ton of money. We'll see. We'll see how this half plays out. But SK, remember, in the first half, they started out slow too.
Yep. Took them a little bit to figure out how exactly EchoFox were playing with tables, and then were able to adapt to it from there after the first, I think, like 6 or 7 rounds is where we saw them coming into fruition there. But this is actually approaching the same point. This is, I mean, this is EchoFox's half score for the last half too, so this is definitely showing itself in better kind. I was actually about to touch on too at how EchoFox were doing a really great job at, for the most part, denying a lot of these trades. But this round's a pure exception to that one.
Absolutely.
As Fallen picks up 3 fast ones to deny them the chase on that op.
Yeah, a lot of teams. Obviously, SK is never going to be a team that's going to panic or anything like that. But a lot of teams do tend to panic when they lose that 4th round, and then come 5th round, you know, they're saving and, you know, finally getting that next buy round, and they start doing like weird things. A lot of players start trying to take it upon themselves, picking things that they shouldn't. Obviously, SK is not going to do that, but EchoFox does have them in a really good spot. Like, EchoFox is in a good place to win this map.
So EchoFox now having tied this up, they'll have the chance to take the lead, but it's going to come once again on another gun round, and also an EchoFox going to change up the play style a little bit. The first gun round, we saw them go for the very fast execute out towards B, and this time they're going to slow it down a little bit. We do actually see coldzera taking quite a bit of damage. I believe that's through the spray down spot too. As you approach Monster, there's that little plywood you can spray through. Pretty sure they get that damage on the coldzera through there, and looks like he's going to go for it again too, bringing him down to just about 30 HP. He's got to duck away and hide now, as that's some great early damage being done. And obviously EchoFox, no reason to worry. They don't know they've done that damage, but it's certainly going to help them when it comes to these rotations that will eventually happen, should we still see EchoFox decide to commit to A.
Yeah, and SK has really good info right now. FNX is still spotting around balloons and party and bathrooms, and Fallen's still spotting long, so they're able to just keep 3B. And rotation is really important on this map, right? If you're the rotator on this map, you usually have 2 steady A, 2 steady B, and then another guy can float. Shazam kills FNX while he's trying to get that information. That is a huge kill. SK gets aggressive over at B because of that, and Taco has a ton of information. He's probably just going to tell his team to stack A here, see if he gets this kill on Roka. He sees Roka going through the monster right now. So Taco has so much information now, but it could work against them because Cold is out of position now, and it is 4v2 at that A site while they execute.
Sean ends up taking a lot of damage there, trying to play around in that Molotov, where Fur is actually going to be able to finish him off. The up from Fallen still stuck behind, and Fur too gets completely blind. However, the rest of EchoFox are stuck. They could, however, still decide to try to go for the plan here, but also Taco coming in on their flank. Fallen within the smoke here, pushes out, grabs the kill onto Rix, and then Fur moves in to close things out. EchoFox just a little bit too much chaos at the end of the round for them to finalize things there and try to shut out SK, so they do actually get back control near the end, and with that, they're going to hold their lead for now.
Yeah, and Taco's mid-round aggression there into the sewers area was just, that helped them so much. Of course, it still came down to, I believe it was Fallen and Fur over at the A site. They were able to get their kills, and not only get their kills, but stay alive. and allow Taco to come up, flank, and do his part.
So EchoFox again, still, thankfully for them, due to the pretty massive run they went on there, with the exception of that last round they picked up. Still having enough cash to buy up here, and possibly still enough to force up for one more round after this. We'll see how they're able to get a plant here, more importantly, but also how the losing bonus stacks up for them. But we will start to see them proceed very slowly, and initially it's just going to be Roka creeping up towards water. The rest are holding back. They're actually doing something very similar to what SK was and holding those 2 to 3 players back over there towards the playground position and 2 more in connector.
And SK is doing the same setup. FNX spotting, Fallen spotting, hey, keep 3B until they get pushed back. But I think I'm like a little bit biased, man. Like, I just like Taco so much. He could just do no wrong to me. You know, like he could just whip 30 bullets. I'll be like, it was the netcode, man. Like, this server is messed up. This is ridiculous.
That good of a rank S teammate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll see EchoFox again start to play around a little bit here as they creep around the corner. coldzera also possibly was looking a moment ago to investigate construction, but kind of calls that off. And now EchoFox is getting a little bit lower on time. They do need to start looking to get into these bomb sites, but a fresh smoke was just reapplied over here towards Monster. And look at how close Cold is holding too. The second they walk out, they're going to have to deal with him. Spots the first one. The smoke's also great because they're not even going to be fully out of the smoke before coldzera spots their legs. Fur finds the second one. That's from a different angle, granted. The Molotov rolls out, but again, it's just Cold and Fur destroying that Monster push. SK grabs a 12th.
So the problem that round was they didn't push Fallen FNX back enough, and they kept 3B, and they kept their utility. And by the time EchoFox actually decided to hit it, well, there's just a smoke in your face, and they have 3 guys there and know you're coming. So it's so much more difficult to take. You look at what SK just had to deal with, or EchoFox just had to deal with, right? And then you look back at SK's T side when they took it and they threw 1 or 2 flashes and ran through, right? Completely different. And that just comes down to general strategy and awareness.
So now here for EchoFox again. We will see them actually, for the most part, still looking to go, obviously in a much faster pace here to try to go for that B execute, and Roka is going to catch coldzera this round. He gets really aggressive there, tries to push all the way out towards water, where thankfully for the EchoFox roster, they did have someone waiting. Shazam there too, almost had that lineup versus Taco when he tried to push up towards Monster. Literally had him scoped right in, but just as he
Look at Fallen's position right now. He's basically in T-spawn. He pushed all the way through middle to T-spawn right now. Scoped in with an op, moving at like a snail.
The snail is going to look to strike in a moment here too. The timing on it is also probably going to work out perfectly. He's working up on the flank. He hasn't spotted that second player inside, but there's the first pickup. Freaks moved in. They haven't seen this just yet, but actually the bad news is a low Fallen gets this position. None of his teammates are doing a good job at all holding the B bomb site. They all just get destroyed, and despite Fallen grabbing that kill, he now has to call a save.
Yep, just going to save his gun there. I was watching Fallen, so I didn't see how the round played out at the site there, but positionally speaking, I mean, they had 3 guys there. Fallen had all the info in the world. Probably should have been a round 1.
Roka just ends up going off there, picks up 4 kills, destroys that B bomb site.
Yeah.
And now
probably shouldn't have been watching Fallen move like a snail for 45 seconds like he scoped him with an off. I was just watching him. I didn't watch Roka at all.
Blame Days, not the Observer, for missing all the action.
Well, I'm watching it on my own computer, actually.
Oh,
well,
so
not my
you want to blame
computer.
DJ. Just throwing him under the bus, though.
Well, I guess I like my own observing a bit more, sorry.
So that will actually close the gap a little bit here once again now as EchoFox roll within just 1 more round of tying this up again. We've got SK also on the brink of being broken too, but obviously a good shot from Fallen is going to turn that back around. It's been a bit of a battle here between Fallen and Shazam to find these early picks. Both of them are the ones that are consistently looking for it so far in this half. But so far it seems to be Fallen dominating it just a little bit more. Although we have seen some good shots from Shazam as well.
Yeah, so in my opinion, Fallen is by far the best operator in the world when it comes to knowing when he needs to make a play and knowing when he needs to just flash and smoke for his teammates and things like that.
So again, we will see EchoFox going for the execute here, but coldzera, they also have the double op set up more importantly now too, and we've seen how effective this has been for SK, even in world-class matchups, let alone these domestic ones here in North American Pro League.
What are you trying to say, Blue? What? You just
saying, man.
You just took shots.
EchoFox is not like
ACS,
Navi.
Man. Yeah, true. I'm just messing with you. You're absolutely right.
Almost a team ace from SK that round 2 is pretty much everybody except for FNX gets a piece of the pie. Taco, a little bit greedy for that pit position, grabs 2 kills. Ultimately, though, It's the win that matters, and they're sitting at 13-11.
Yeah, EchoFox is going to be able to scrape by here and get another buy round, definitely. But after this, you know, SK is still going to be able to buy even if they lose this one. So these next 2 rounds are extremely critical.
So how else if they do get that buy going? It's, like you said, it's a bit scrappy. 2 AKs, 2 Tech-9s on Freakazoid and Sean and Shazam with the op, but no utility behind it. He gets the armor, which in certain cases is obviously going to be way more important here, but also a direct push through the connector, and this is going to allow SK to push right forward here. FNX is going to be watching for this when they spot it. Nobody's checking from that direction, but that's actually a fast reaction from Shazam. Seems to roll it to nowhere. It takes down FNX. They get control of the bathrooms, and the A set's going to be wide open, so right from the get-go here, SK are playing for a retake.
Yeah, and it's been constant B hits, right? I mean, they haven't gone A too much. The round they went A, you know, Taco was in the 4v5 and he got that aggression. But it's been definitely more B hits, and I think, you know, it was a good read by SK to actually get aggressive here. And they haven't pinned in. I'd be very surprised if EchoFox is able to win this round.
There's those flanks at long, though, that they weren't really accounting for. Now they're aware of it, however. We almost saw an additional kill happen there, too. As we do see some more damage going on to Taco. He even brought down a 12 HP. They've got that plant position, though, and while they are working for flanks on it, Sean just walks right out, destroys Taco, taking him down. Fallen there, responding with one of his own, but Rix also taking down Fallen. That Molotov is certainly getting in the way, but leaving it just under a 2-on-2 here now. Also, we haven't really seen coldzera get a piece of this yet. He's taking his time with it. Even the spray coming in through the doorway there. They need to get on this bomb. Fur grabs the kill, but I mean, they're out of time now. They spent way too much time really just playing around here with the bathrooms, and that's going to give the round to EchoFox.
Yeah, and like I said, would be really surprised if SK loses this round. No, like they played that really well. They just worried about the flank, and Roka was just watching for, you know, for the bomb at the site, and like nobody came through spawn, and they just had every single person basically watching the flank. So I was a bit surprised. I thought SK was going to win that round for sure, but EchoFox, big win there. They did manage to get a lot of kills on them though. You know, they only lived with 1 alive. So EchoFox still, even though they won that round, like I said, it was going to be 2 rounds if they win that round. This round's like, if they lose this round, it's going to be really tough for them to come back from.
Yeah, as once again, this is going to be another reset potential for them, and most of them are actually completely out of cash at this point. The highest amount is 1,300. However, again, it's another fast take on B site. Taco can't get out of the way of it. It is a response from coldzera as he dives into pit. Fur finds one at the same time here too. Cold's taking a lot of heat though. He's now going to have to try and look for more, but nobody's accounting for that corner pit position there. He grabs an additional kill on Rix, and they peek up from the stripper pole, and Songera is moving forward there. Grabs coldzera, takes him down, goes into a 2-on-3. EchoFox slowly getting knocked out. A good flashbang in pit, destroys Shazam, and FNX from heaven takes down Sean.
You know, no match comes down to like 1 round that makes or obviously there's, you know, up to 30 rounds or more in a match, right? But that round right there was by far the most important round. Whoever won that was going to put the other team on a save and probably be able to get to, you know, 15 before a bye happens again. So that round was just so critical. EchoFox now forcing. All they have is Tech-9s, and SK is looking like they're in complete control.
And again, they're just going to try to go for the fast execute, although 3 of them get blinded by their own flashbang that's tossed in through Monster. This allows for quick responses from SK. Most of them aren't even with rifles, just with nades they're tossing out here. So much early damage done. They're completely surrounded. They're trying to flank through the smokes, but it's the reverse roll that's being done here. It's already in Roka. Really just a hunt for him within the smokes at the end of the round, but although it takes a moment, they do close out the round pretty quickly, and SK gets up to a fast 15-12. Still not even looking at enough cash for EchoFox to fully invest once again. It's just going to be, for most of these guys, Tech-9 armor buys with a little bit of utility sitting behind it.
Yeah, and SK, you know, they had 3 guys there. They all threw their nades. They recognized that it was a rush immediately. They've seen those same smokes, I'm sure, many times before and know exactly how to react and what to do to stop that, and it shows.
And so obviously, since the brute force tactics over towards B has not been working out so well for EchoFox, they're going to decide to, well, pursue still a fairly direct route, but this time at the least it's going to be working its way up towards bathrooms, then falling into A. Fallen with his aggressive position. He's heard this at the very least. He knows that they're going to be taking up spots there. We won't see any crazy rotations from SK just as of yet, but they'll start the formulation of it. And we can even see Fallen with some support teammates that are starting to move up. They're going to look to hold this on before we can even get close to the bomb site. Already punishing Sean on the outside route on short. And now they really just have to punish the rest of these guys. We're already starting to see EchoFox hold back a little bit to wait for them to follow up their push, which all they're going to do, but Fallen still decking the head off of Rix there. Spots the shadow of another player pushing around here. He's trying to find the kill itself, but Paul, in the meantime, making a mockery of it. Falling aggressive with the pistol. Last player's pushing out long, but he's going to be shut down, so there you have it. The last 3 or 4 rounds here, it's just SK shutting things down, just like they were in the last few rounds of the first half as well. Because of that, they are going to take this first map.
Yeah, started out a bit slow on both halves, but then they were able to adapt. They were able to get ready for what EchoFox was doing and read them really well, and end up not only making good individual plays, but playing really well as a team.
Interesting note there too, we didn't really ever see, despite the fact that, especially towards the end of the halves, we saw EchoFox really fall to pieces. They weren't really making up any of these rounds so much. We never really saw them take a pause or anything like that either to try and figure out what was going wrong.
We didn't see a pause, did we?
Yeah.
Maybe they're a bit tilted because they went 0-2 versus Optic and got crushed, and they're just like, oh my god, I wish this night would end. You know?
So just trying to rush through the games as quickly as possible.
I mean,
freeze time is the pause enough.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they just knew what was going wrong, or maybe they just were just like, we're playing SK, I don't even expect to win, so screw the pause.
Just give it up.
I don't know, man.
But we have Moses and Ryu standing by, of course, to talk about this game.
Tell us why they didn't pause.
Yeah, tell us why they didn't pause.
I have no answers. No answers.
Though, one thing I did learn during that match, Blue is afraid of scary movies. I feel like none of us are surprised at that. Like, I'm not surprised that SK just took that map, but that's definitely something that I learned today.
Yeah, Blue doesn't seem like he would do well in scary movies whatsoever.
Definitely not the type. So a little bit closer than I think most of us were expecting. EchoFox did win both pistols. They had a couple decent gun rounds. They seemed on their T side to pick up the pace, caught SK off guard a little bit, and.
I mean, the big thing for me in this match was, Taco is just a monster on Overpass. Taco is like one of the better for SK. Like, for my money, Taco is like the most important player they have on Overpass, just because the role he plays over towards that B bomb site is so critical to what they want to do on the terror side. He makes and breaks their terror side. And the big thing was, I mentioned it before the match even started. Like, that was going to be the key to EchoFox winning. If they could get aggressive, if they could beat up Taco, if they could take him out of the equation, then there would be an opportunity for him. But the fact is, they pushed him a number of times. They tried to get aggressive and do exactly that, but Taco's just so good at stopping that. So a great terror staff from him, I think. Yeah,
and so SK had to actually make a couple adjustments. EchoFox got off to a really good start. They had, I think, a 4-1 lead. 4-1 lead. This is a good start. It's a lot of momentum coming off of a beatdown that they just kind of suffered at the hands of Optic. To have a little bit of a lead, maybe a little bit of glimmer of hope, you're starting to feel some confidence. CT side of this map against the best team in the world.
Yeah, I mean it was nice because we did say, after that kind of beat down from Optic, if they did start out slow, that was just going to snowball and do like a really, really bad evening for them. Like, because Overpass obviously is amazing for SK. So I mean, if it had been a slow start, if it, they would have just been crushed again by 16-5, 16-8. Winning both pistol rounds definitely helps, but it is the best team in the world. You could see even during moments of struggle for SK, they're able to outlast it. They're able to just overcome it by just the way they play. And I believe they talked about it on the casting desk at the beginning. Like, SK isn't that team that's going to just try and disrespect you and just run all over you. They are going to just play like you're one of the best teams in the world, and they're going to go through the motions. They're going to go through their game plan that they have on every single map, and they're just going to grind you down and grind you out.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I actually guessed when Days asked Blue who his favorite SK player to play with in Rank S was. I actually thought it was going to be Taco. We mentioned in the pregame that Taco loves to just kind of lurk out through bomb site B. We both knew it was coming, so you would think EchoFox knew it was coming. When you have a player that plays that role, that position so well that it's coming, and he still walks in and just instant one bullets like the anchor in the site. How demoralizing is that if you're EchoFox? It's coming and you're still not able to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, Rix and Rook are going to have nightmares of this match just because Taco just worked him over repeatedly. And yeah, it's not even necessarily just his entry coming into that bomb site. It's also the fact that he just holds it so well. So you say, okay, we'll negate that by getting aggressive and pushing. And this isn't just something that he does against EchoFox. This is something he does against some of the other top teams in the world, where he just holds that area so incredibly well that even when you try and say, we'll just take him out of the map, make sure that he can't have that impact in the mid-rounds, he still is able to at least get a trade. He's still able to win one fight, maybe die afterwards, but then he has the intel and he's thinned out your defense. So just a really strong player on this map.
Yeah, and again, it's coming, and it really doesn't matter.
That's the case with just about anyone on that team. I mean, how many times do you see?
The board.
Yeah, you see there were a couple of rounds where like EchoFox players had the jump, had like the first 5 bullets shot, and then it's just there's the response.
Yep, immediate headshot death. Late in the game, it's a 10-10 score. They win the second. EchoFox wins the second pistol. It seems like it's a close game, at least on the scoreboard. I don't know that any of us were ever thinking like EchoFox is going to win this, but this is the point in the match where SK Gaming really started to kind of distance themselves a little bit, and they take the lead on this round.
Well, this was like a sequence of rounds where, I mean, if you look at the clock now, it's at 20 seconds, but this is a sequence of rounds, even some of the 2 rounds, right after this, where the clock has run down so low. I mean, the bomb's just now trying to be put down. They haven't even been able to take over the bomb site. Fallen makes a play through the smoke. So, even some of the other rounds over towards the B bomb site, some of that utility is held by SK. They're like, all right, if you want to run on the clock, we'll still have a Molotov, we'll still have a smoke left for around 30 seconds left in the round, and then we're just going to delay you even longer or make you execute through the utility. So just really smart play from them. Couple instances, it does look when I get that close, I was almost like EchoFox is like, wait, how are we actually doing this? Like, we don't actually have a game plan to actually win this match. We're just kind of happy it's close, and then it just gets closed out by SK. So a couple small mistakes down the stretch, but overall, I think that was a pretty good effort from EchoFox.
Yeah, and it was towards the end. There was the one swing round Days pointed out on the desk where if SK loses, they're actually reset. They might be saving, and there's a chance that we see EchoFox get up into match point. But they were able to secure this round. It seemed like the game plan for EchoFox was maybe we'll catch them off guard, we'll go fast. They get the first entry here. After this, we see I think coldzera dances around like 2 Molotovs. He goes down to 1 HP, able to get another kill. They secure this round. The economy is shattered for EchoFox, and that was basically all she wrote.
Yeah, this is what makes him such just a dynamic player with the AWP, the smart plays that they have. I mean, the whole team of SK, not just any individual players, is such good awareness and understanding of where their teammates are and where they're coming from, that they know when to be passive. They know when to just try and buy a little bit of time. Maybe it's just an extra second or two, where the goal is to stay alive as long as possible, because your teammates are the ones who are going to be making the play. So that kind of understanding, coldzera there dancing around the fire, gets one more kill, buys a little bit more time, the rotations come in. It happened a number of times in that match, but just overall, that team is just so good at playing together and then so strong individually. This is just why they're the best team in the world.
Yeah, we definitely saw that. A little closer than expected, but it is a win for the members of SK. In the pregame and actually before the matches, Dazed and I were talking about what we were saying the over-under on coldzera's ADR was. I think he said it was going to be over 110. I know where you can find out if it was over 110. That is the Score Esports. You can take out your Google phone or Apple phone and go to the appropriate application store.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
You got a long way to go to catch up to machine, but
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. You hit that search button, you type in the Score Esports, you download the app, you install it on your phone, you check to see if coldzera is over that 110 ADR mark, and you tweet to Days to let them know using the hashtag ESL Pro League. That was 2. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, it's going to be Dust 2, EchoFox against SK, the last map of the night.